What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you're all doing well. Time for some schemes. Tonight we're playing Tzeentch. So I haven't played them in a while, but should be fun. You know, they have a lot of similar principles to some of the other Chaos factions. We have our goats, and we have our mortals, and our demons. Yes, yes. What's going on, guys? Welcome. So let me take a look at tonight's tournament. It's actually not my event that is being hosted. It's being hosted by Bob That Builder. I think it's how many rounds? Okay, it's a 5-rounder. Slightly different maps than the ones we've been using lately, which is good. Yeah, all is good in the realm. Cool. So standard, ban one map. You know, your opponent bans one, you play. Warriors of Chaos, Norska, and Slaanesh are also banned tonight, which is nice. That's going to give us a much better fighting chance for sure. Although, honestly, I think Tzeentch can do pretty well against Slaanesh probably with the Air Force sniping, because you could just punish their lord super hard. And you do have magic damage across your whole roster, which kind of negates the Slaanesh Phys Res. I'm kind of curious how that would go, although I feel like you would get wrecked in mobility pretty badly. Tzeentch is fun. Yeah, a faction that I think I should get more into, honestly. They've got a lot of really, really fun units. But I always kind of like struggle to figure out when I should be using blues and pinks. I know you're basically just getting like demonic archers, but I always kind of struggle to figure out when the right time is. Hey, Catterley, thank you for resubscribing, and Just Saying as well, thank you for resubscribing as well. Was there a 40K release date? Not to my knowledge. If I had to guess, I would say it's going to come out at the beginning of next year. I think like January, February, March. Probably not January, but February, March next year would be my guess. And we'll be getting like some early looks like towards the end of this year. Yeah. That's right, Snickerdoodle. Now, we'll get back to playing Nurgle. Don't worry, the suffering will continue, but tonight it's going to be Tzeentch. Got to change it up every now and then, you know, keep it fresh. So tourney is starting right now, and we're going to be seeing who our first round opponent is, and Uno Momento. And kind of excited. Should be fun, man. Yeah, Norska, Warriors of Chaos are restricted tonight, as is Slaanesh. Yeah, all three of those bad boys are restricted. Okay, he hasn't done that yet, and we are playing against Ratty. All right, let's go get our first round opponent. It's going to be the dreaded Ratty. Let me find him. Ratty, yo, we're up. All right, so let's play Ratty right now, see what's cooking. So maps for round one. Let the Tzeentchian sweat flow. He's going to be banning first. Favorite Primarch? I mean, I play Death Guard, so it has to be. I don't really know the lore super deep of the Primarchs. I know like all the stereotypes and the basics, but yeah, I mean, obviously I have a painted Mortarian model, so that's got to be, I just think the like Angel of Death aesthetic is so cool on him. Like the plague angel looks really neat. Mortis Beast, yeah, that's true. We do have the Mutalith. All right, you ban first. Who are you? All right, so we got to see what our opponent's up to, and we got our lobby set up. Great. So Ratty is here, and it looks like we're going to be playing against Kislev, I think. Yeah? Okay. Have to figure out what we do in that matchup. I guess it depends on the map. It depends on ye old map. All right, aces. So Kislev is a very strong faction. Very, very strong. Tzeentch is kind of, from what I've perceived lately, I haven't seen them in a while, but they're kind of a mid-tier faction. I think Tzeentch can kind of punch up and, you know, obviously struggle even against some of the weaker ones, but they do hard counter a couple factions. Tzeentch is, I think, good against, I mean, obviously they wreck Nurgle, but probably good against Slaanesh, but Slaanesh is banned tonight, so not going to come into play. Angron, the linebacker, yeah. Angron's got some war trauma for sure. All right, so Edge of the Darkwood is banned, and then we have Imperial Road or Eastern Isle Colony. All right, let's play How do we want to do this? Eastern Isle Colony or Imperial Road? Imperial Road's more open. Let's play Eastern Isle. Let's play Eastern Isle. I like that map. It opens up some really fun builds. All right, so we're going to be doing this. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. Let's get the Wookiee blocker up, and we're going to be on Eastern Isle Colony. It's a map I really like. It's very different, you know, very different. Hey Ninja, how you doing, man? How's the weather down there? It's really good, yeah. We had a ton of rainstorms last week. It was like, you know, a good week and a half of just consistent heavy rain, but now it's calmed and it's just like classic, you know, nice weather here, so. Yeah, we have Tretch Craventail. I could Mighty Morphin Tretch in time. That would be fun. I'm learning. Sounds good. Okay. So Kislev. We know they got bears, and they have bald dudes with shotguns. Fair amount of stuff. Yeah, we're using the good banner. That's right. This banner is pretty cool. I like it a lot. Okay, so I'm trying to think how we want to do this. I think we're going to try a little bit of this. This could be fun on this map especially, and then we'll get one of you guys. Perfect. As far as the infantry corps goes, I think just like baseline marauders are probably adequate. Warriors here in this matchup, I don't know. Don't know how much I feel about those. Bring Changeling Boris, that'd be really funny. Okay, if I were to use the Changeling to turn into anybody on that roster, who would it be? Let's see. On the Kislev roster. Yeah, that would be very funny, though, to just mind game them and turn into one of their own guys. Yeah. I mean, you have some pretty good choices, honestly. You do have some pretty good choices. Man, yeah, I forget how fun the Changeling is. It's so, and like your opponent, obviously, there's no way to like counterplay this. You know, you just got to raw dog it when they go with the Changeling. So, all right. Yes. Oh boy, that's rough. Okay, so if we cut all these abilities, cut all these. Changeling is a little bit strangely designed though. Like the fact that like you always want to be, yeah, that you always want to be the caster lords. The fact that you can't like pick spells makes it so inefficient to pick any sort of a caster character. I mean, you still can. Sometimes it's worth it, but yeah, tricky stuff. Yeah, changeling into casters is usually too expensive, right? I agree with you. I think it's just usually not the way. Herald the Hammerstorm would be pretty fun, though. Okay, so these guys have that. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. I think we're just going to do you. Going to get homie down here. What does this ability even do? Okay, so we'll get that, and we will get, what else? So what does this do here? Let me read this. So it's going to be... Yeah, and it takes a little bit away there. Okay, that is fine. So that gives you how much? Oh, reserves for a second, and that's going to be... We're changing some ways today. We are, yeah. We're changing the ways, kind of trying to see if that'll do it for us. Against old Kislev, you know, they can present some scary cavalry threats, which we got to respect. But Centaurs of Tzeentch can punch up into them pretty well, in my experience. So it's not the end of the world when those guys come in. I think one more choice here. We might have to deal with big frostworms and stuff. You know, we got the big dragons on the other side. A little bit frightening. You don't get the items, correct. You don't get the items. You know, honestly, though, I wonder if Changeling would be a little bit OP if you could, like, choose spells. That might be a little bit too strong to get, like, every single thing in the game. So, like, paying the tax of having to bring the spells maybe is fair. I don't know. All right, let's grab you guys, and then we can get you. I think that's going to be good. Do we want Zangors in this matchup? Zangors are all right. I feel like they're not terrible. Yeah, we'll get these. 1 and 2. So we got 1,500 left. Severed Claw is also a decent, really decent option in this matchup. I think Severed Claw are pretty great. All right, so Kislev obviously doesn't have any Air Force stuff that we need to worry about. I think that is okay. So we have you guys, Spawn of Tzeentch, I think like a weird spawn unit can potentially be okay, but I don't know. Armor Sundering here. We could go for the Book of Secrets memes. The Book of Secrets is just so funny when you can pull that off. It's hilarious. Yeah, just one of those. One of these. And that is, God, man, they're expensive. They are expensive as hell. Okay. one of you, and one of you. Okay. I think that looks all right. I think we're ready to go. It's a bit of an experimental build, but hopefully it'll work. Yeah, is there anything else I want to bring in? So if he goes double frostworm, am I really concerned? I think I have tools to stop the frostworms if he goes for those. Yeah, good luck, have fun. This is a weird map, by the way. Not a weird one, but it changes the dynamic of matchups quite a bit. All right, we're loading into the first game here. How do you sign up for these tournaments? You just need to be in our Discord, Ryan. That's it. So be in our Discord channel, and we make announcements several times a week. And then you just sign up and follow the details, and that's it. Anybody's welcome, all skill levels. But yeah, we'll walk you through it in between games. Bring the change. That's right. We are bringing the change. You're feeling Lord Metal is very, very good here. It is incredibly good. I did not go for it, though. I'm doing kind of a funky build that I think will catch him off guard. Could be wrong, though. So here's what we got. We have 2 Marauders who are going to be chilling out on this objective, or just 1 Marauder and 1 Halberd here. So they're going to be on the back objective. Then we got 2 Marauders and a Halberd to go to the middle here. So they're going to go to the middle. And then we have Village and Ea Cold, which is one of my favorite ways to play this faction. I really, really like the Village is just a tanky grinder. And then we have 2 Exalted Flamers of Tzeentch, which the idea is I like park them right here, and I can shoot in line of sight his shooting and, you know, get some decent value there. And then we just have 1 random pink who's just going to be a utility piece, basically. All right, so that's it. Christmas Smoky might be your favorite iteration of the little guy. Yeah, it's pretty great. You know, we could just group these guys together. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. Got a bit of a headache today, guys, so sorry if I'm not quite as focused. Pushing through it. All right, so you guys are up. This looks good, right? Like, these guys do pretty good against Kislev shooting, in my experience. So he's going with Sled Stankia. So he's going for sleds. It's going to be War Sleds Max with Mother of Stankia, and then we do have a couple Armored Kossars there, too. Okay. So what we need to do against that is probably get Severed Claw. Or, you know, honestly, the Changebringer's up in the sky. Does he have Rampage? Let me see. So he does not have the Rampages. He's got, like, Witch's Brew and a couple other things like that. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. Oh, no, I'm not under the weather or anything. I just have a headache today, man. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, I don't know what's cooking with it. I also don't know how these guys will do against the sleds. I don't know. So we're going to move up. We do have a single Halberd unit, so he can't just run through me, although he might potentially still try. We're going to want to get a Severed Claw out pretty soon, so he's going to get that objective. Going to get our little pinks up, and then you guys can go and do a little bit of roasting right here on these guys, and we just got to watch out for the archers, which will hurt, of course. Okay, so form up and form up. We have plenty of time. So we just wait for the Severed Claw probably, and then we just like anchor down to the point. All right, so archers might be able to get us here, but if we can get like a double volley here, that's going to be very good. And do we get it? We get 1 volley, and he kind of bunched up in such a way that we're going to get maybe a bigger volley there. Let's see. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's not terrible, right? It ain't terrible. All right, let's get Severed Claw coming. Get those guys up. We just need halberds basically to deal with all those sleds. And we are getting some very cost-effective shooting, cooking one of the units there. All right, so you guys go here, you guys go here. And now we just run back into the trees and regenerate our shields. But yeah, out of the gates, that's pretty damn good. Halberds go far back. And we can try ripping some shots into the light war sleds. I actually have no idea how it's going to go. Let's see if we can shoot out of the trees effectively, or if it's going to be line of sight blocked. All right, so we get 1 shot. Does it actually do damage against those things? Oh, damn. Okay, today I learned. Oh my god, okay. So these things are actually decent against the sleds. I did not think that was going to be the case. All right, so the boys are coming. We have Severed Claw coming up, and these guys are going to be rolling dirty as well. Great, great. Okay, I don't hate that at all. That was pretty good, right? Let's even get a little bit of a bombardment right there. Village is going to run back. He should be behind the shielded units, and Aecold can get back as well. All right, so Severed Claw are going to be going here. We're going to pop out, see if we can get him with a little bit of roasting right there. And there we have it. So Patriarch is here. That's going to be some spell. It's Witch's Brew. It's not a bad one. I can't really dodge it too effectively. But man, look at these dudes are putting in work on his boys here. All right, so we are eating it on our shields, which is to be expected. And now we can call in a Centaur of Tzeentch, I think. We'll just get them parked back here. Damn, dude, these guys are ending careers. They're doing some great work. And those are going to be Zargard coming in, but you can already see one of the Kossars' spears in really, really bad shape. So that is good for us. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do 3 and 4. We'll park one of you here, one of you here. So you're going to go ahead and spit on those guys, and then we're going to get you guys back here to protect. And yeah, we will come up and spit on these guys again. All right, so we're going to try that. This little like bush to hide in here is pretty great. So we're going to get a halberd unit here. Severed Claw is already in the mix, waiting to get charged. And yeah, the boy is watching now, but the Zargard there are going to get cooked a little bit if he's not careful. Yeah, and all the damage he's done is basically non-existent because of the shield system. So that's really, really nice for us. All right. So he's going to have to come eventually. We'll see when. Let's get you guys back over here. And we do see the Zargard kind of hanging out on vacation. Heavy war sleds might make a play over this direction, but if they do, I stand at the ready. We'll get a pink back here ready to kind of shoot at them as well. The trees are blocking pretty good for us. I don't know how well these things shoot through trees. We're going to find out right now. We're going to find out right the hell now. All right, so a shot through the trees, and it seems to be pretty decent. That guy shoots through the trees too, and gets a direct hit more or less, which is awesome. Let's get Tzeentch nearby so he doesn't get any free charges on me. And Village and Aecold can stand at the ready there. All right, these exalted dudes are putting in some big, big work, man. And the cool part is I could just like unsummon them when the time comes. So 5 and 6, so 5 and 6. And now we're gonna go and just absolutely annihilate these guys. It's gonna be good for us. All right, so back up, back up. Exalted Flamer's doing his thing, so we're going to get you guys to jump on these bad boys here, and we could just send the Sacrificial Marauders in to get them as well. Okay. So yeah, the Flamers of Tzeentch really, really carrying me this game pretty hard. We're going to come back here. He might charge in, but I do have Halberds and Centaurs of Tzeentch like on standby, so I think we're okay. And Aecold and Village can go in and just start charging their goodies there. All right, so let's do this. He's going to charge into maybe one of the Marauders, which is all right. We're ready to countercharge, and I do have Changebringers in the wings too. Let's get these guys to countershoot there. And now we're going to do this. We can go ahead and get Aecold's Village, and we're going to go ahead and drop a little Vortex right there, get you guys right there. Perfect. All right, so those Chariots are getting roasted. We're going to get a big old Vortex on those Zargard right there, so they are not going to be happy at all about that. And on the backside, we do have some Winged Lancers coming in. Well, Flamethrower Boy's going to run back into the bushes. Screamers of Tzeentch, let's get them out to support, and those Zargard should be pretty cooked right now. So we can send in the base infantry to go help out, and I don't know what was actually hitting these Severed Claw units. Ah, it's Little Grom, okay. It is Little Grom. So Little Grom is a good choice. His chariot army is in bad shape right now. It is not feeling happy. Severed Claw, we're going to get them back behind the tree line, I think, and we're going to get the Halberds kind of chilling over here. Meanwhile, you guys do this, and we can slow push up like with you and with you and you. Great. Screamers of Tzeentch in the mix. Let's get them in, and honestly, now we might as well call in Severed Claw. Glean Magic, the Hag is nowhere nearby. That Little Grom is putting in a lot of lifting, and we can do a little bit of a charge right there, too. All right. So where do we want to go with our demons? Where do we want to go? All right, so over here, Severed Claw's got to pile in. We should be able to win this fight. Screamers of Tzeentch got to pile in on the Winged Lancers, and we're about to flatten those infantry over, so let's get a Zangor up to help out and buffer. So that's pretty good. You guys come here and here. We're going to get you guys to start shooting at those guys, Marauders into you guys, and Halberds to screen out right there. And Centaurs are just going to pull up in reserve. All right, so it's looking pretty good for us, I would say. I would say we're in a pretty commanding position right now. So let's get you here and you here. Shoot these guys down, call the Halberds over to support, and we do have Centaurs of Tzeentch who are ready to take on those heavy war sleds, so that's going to be a big win for us. He's going to lose those sleds most likely. All right. So the blob fight is going well. His Patriarch is being battered. The flamethrowers are doing great damage. And on the backside, what do we have? The Wolf Hearts. Okay, so Wolf Hearts, we want to get them with this ability, so we're going to do this. And that should just end their careers, basically. Yeah, it's going to be really, really brutal. Ooh. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I did just get an overcasted Vortex on those guys, so that's going to be nasty. And then we can do a Tzeentch's Firestorm on them, and that'll basically delete the unit from the game. All right, so on this side, it's only a matter of time before we get it. Yeah, the fighting over here looks pretty good. Let's get you guys over there. Call in some Forsaken now. Unsummon our beat units, and unsummon our beat units. We're going to need fresh ones to bring in. And we just basically deleted the Wolf Hearts from the game. Yeah, they're out. Their source code is no longer in this game. All right, so how are we looking value-wise? I'm actually, it says I'm behind on value, which it doesn't feel like that's the case. I guess the Protoss shields are, you know, one thing to take into account. All right, so we're gonna get you guys there. We're gonna do a little bit of this, and you guys can flamethrower here, and those guys are taken down to Pound Town. All right, great. So form up. Flamethrower shooting into the sleds, and you guys form here and do this. And Changebringers would get probably shot by Little Grom, I think. They probably would. I don't know how he could possibly be ahead in value. I feel like I'm so far ahead, but you know, strange things happen in this game. The changer of ways is weird, you know, sometimes gets a little bit finicky. All right, so we're gonna try and come over here. Let's get you guys back this way. Send the Halberds to the back point, and we can take our two characters as well back there. I think is fine. All right, so Centaurs can engage there. Halberds are trying to detach to help out, and we have Forsaken, which I could send all the way down there, but I don't think we need to. So Changebringers will be pretty brutal here. So let's start roasting these guys. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Severed Claw needs to be unsummoned. I guess that's where he got his value, was against my Severed Claw. So yeah, let's see if we can get him with some Flamethrower attacks. Looks like I'm obstructed right now, which feels bad. So probably gonna have to change it up a little bit. All right, so Changebringers are coming. Let's get you over here. Halberds are on their way over, and we have our 2 characters going there too. Halberds trying to drag down some of the cav units, and Changebringers now should be able to just end the careers of this Griffin Legion and really, really, give them a bad time. All right, so the shots are coming. There they go, and let's go ahead and shoot these Winged Lancers there. Oh, yeah. Changebringers are such a fun unit, man, when they're on your side. When you're not playing against them. Oh, no, don't want to unsum those Forsaken. It's supposed to be you guys. Okay. So they're getting it. We shoot you, and we shoot these guys. And we have the Halberds and company heading to the back point. It's a little bit ambitious, to be honest, going back here, but I think it's worth it. And we can call in some Marauder Spearmen just to come up and get ready to help out. Forsaken charge there. Changebringers, as long as we're like behind the line of sight barrier, I think we're all right. Let's cook some of these guys, and you guys get up on the point. And you guys get up on the point. We could do Glean Magic on Mother Ostankia. Steal some Winds of Magic from our opponent. Very Tzeentchian. And good. So the Changebringers have been able to successfully feast. Let's get them behind this pillar so my opponent can't see them effectively. And the Little Grom is almost out of ammunition. I don't know. Yeah, the value thing is sometimes very weird with Tzeentch. Yeah, it's very weird because I feel like I'm very far ahead right now. All right, we're able to full up his cab back there. Changebringers are just going to wait behind this pillar, and we'll use them to cook anything that gets in range here. And we are out of ammunition, so this is where we unsummon. And then this one can use the last of its ammunition right here. All right, this little pink here, we can get him up there to help out. And great, Forsaken are fighting. Couple dudes over here. Yeah, nice rotation. Let's get the spears over this way. Halberds come. Changebringers can come lurk under here, see if they can help out. And you have a little bit of ammo left. So we'll see what we can get done. All right, I do have another Vortex too. So we're going to go ahead and call out. Little Grom is just about to run out of ammo, but for now, let's just summon some trash units. Get them up here. And the Forsaken are very weak to sleds, so we got to watch out. All right, let's start shooting the sleds here. Little Grom is shooting at, thankfully, the dudes on the objective, which we have stolen. And these are going to be Ice Guard Glaives. Not too worried about those, honestly. We can just charge them. And you need to be unsummoned. Yeah, you always want to unsummon those ones. Changebringers feasting, and everybody else can move up. Couple infantry coming in. Let's get some Screamers over here just to support against the cav units. They can charge those Griffin Legions. Another big shot right there, but let's go ahead and get back. All right, so we got the double cap. And, yeah, the Vortexes aren't being calculated correctly. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's going to do a shit ton of damage too, by the way. That's why I like Village. He's kind of like a Sigvald-esque character who's just basically just really, really tough to remove. And look at that Vortex. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yes, and let's do a Tzeentch army ability, really just to drive the nail home here. All right, so form ranks, form ranks. We have the Changebringers rotating between the 2 objectives. You guys are setting up here. Infantry are coming, and the Screamers have also done well. And then the Tzeentch army ability comes in to just like pancake them. Oh, it's so fun, man. It's such a fun roster. All right, so Centaur of Tzeentch, yes, bring you guys out, and you guys intercept. You guys roast there. And yeah, you guys, honestly, I mean, I could even charge the Little Grom probably. We'll just bring everybody back here and just leave these 2 guys to defend. I think that's going to be fine. Mother Ostankia doing her thing. Do we have Glean Magic? We do not have enough. All right, Changebringers have done it, and we see another Ice Guard coming out. Not going to be terribly happy here. Those sleds are very, very annoying over there, though I don't really have a great answer, but the Centaurs of Tzeentch can actually run them down. Good. All right, yeah, he's about to run out of ammo, so I could be really reckless now. I could just kind of charge into whatever. All right, Furies. Sure, why not? Let's call in some Furies overhead. Yeah, Tzeentch value is always a little bit, it could be weird in games for sure. All right, so let's start cooking Mother Ostankia here. The Centaurs will be able to get the kill there. Village is at about half health. Glean Magic is what, 9 Winds of Magic? I don't think I'm going to have enough for that. Mother Ostankia is getting it pretty good now, though. Her career is in danger. But so too is Village. Village is actually getting sniped a little bit here, so maybe we'll try and get Village back into the trees. Reinforce back on the home point just to be safe. Unsummon beat units. And Mother Ostankia maybe in trouble here. Yeah, the unsummoning of the Little Grom is pretty good. And let's get you guys here. Centaurs of Tzeentch can go finish off Ostankia. And we're trying to get away with our boy Village. He's seen better days. All right, let's get you in there. Screamers can go there, and that's going to be GG. All right, so that worked pretty good. The build was, everything just was like clockwork, man. The Exalted Flamers of Tzeentch did really, really good. I am not unhappy about them at all. The sleds got cooked up. 1,600 value, 1,400 value. Village got 3,000 value from his Vortexes, so really amazing on that. Severed Claw kind of got pounded by Little Grom, but the Changebringers came in and got almost 3,000 value as well. Burn through the witches. Yeah, Cultist, thank you for resubscribing, man. Indeed, we did burn through some witches. All according to the plan, yes. GG, Doug. Well played. All right. So good start for us tonight, guys. Good start out of the gates, you know. We get a win against a solid opponent there and took him down. Lord of Change would be proud. Yes. Yes, he would. So Tzeentch versus he was playing Kislev. All right. The Changer of Ways. So next up on the docket, we'll see what we got. I like the build though. Didn't hate it. This build would not have worked on a big open map. If it was a big open map, he would have shot me with little Groms and cooked me. But I knew on that map it would work because we have that pillar in the middle that we can kind of hide our dudes behind and pop out, which was pretty big. Pretty big indeed. Okay, guys. One sec. I just got to take this call real quick. I'll BRB. All right, guys. It is time. We are ready potentially for round 2 in the tournament. Tzeentch has changed the ways to give us victory in round 1. And let's look at the round so far. Okay. We got some good players playing tonight, man. We got some killers. Looking at the tourney, let's see. So we have Maverick Sloth, Turtles, Harrison, Phoenix King, myself and Ratty, Maximillionaire, and Adam. Blake is playing. It looks like he got a bye round, always unfortunate. Lord Shaftesbury, who I played in the grand finals of a tournament about a week ago. I lost in the grand finals against him. It was a really, really good match. Melkor, Ricochet, Ben Shubov, that builder, Bird saying, okay, yeah. Some of the usual suspects are here. Brewing some tea? You mean microwaving some tea water? Is that what you dirty dogs are talking about? Lord Fire passive and Warp Flame it's pretty good. Yeah, definitely can get some big damage bonuses because you have to remember every time you cast a fire spell with Tzeentch, right? So if you have a cultist, for example, let me find this. Yeah, trigger goes Kindle Flame. So the entire enemy army is weak to fire damage. And when you look at the Tzeentch roster, I mean, most of your demon units do fire damage. So your pinks, your blues, they're all going to be getting a 20% damage buff. So going from 19 missile strength up to like 23, 24 missile strength, give or take, and then with the Warp Flame, if you have something, the Warp Flame synergy, obviously there are some units that have that, this ability that makes them even weaker to fire too. So yeah, there's a lot of cool combos with Tzeentch. There are a lot of cool combos. Yeah, the flamethrowers were good. Flamethrowers were good. No, well, yeah, life, it's the build sometimes, I mean, I like to experiment. My favorite thing to do in games in general is like experimenting with like off-meta stuff and weird tech. Now, what could we have like had the Changeling turn into? I had actually thought about having the Changeling turn into the Mask, but Kislev with a sled build would have obliterated me. The Mask would have had a really, really bad time. I mean, you could do Tzeentch. Could do Tzeentch Graventail. It'd be really funny to like have the Changeling with actual magic and then turn into Tzeentch. So Tzeentch would just be $14.50, which is a little bit more expensive than Skaven. You pay a premium. Oh yeah, the new Dow 4 trailer for Orcs is basically another Space Marine trailer. Yeah, Green Knight isn't a terrible choice to turn into. It's true. Or the Blue Scribes. If you want to get real crazy, Blue Scribes are not a bad one to turn into. If you're, I mean, it's obviously a meme unit, but they're forced to bring all their spells anyway. So yeah, it could be worse. Could be a little bit worse. Valkia, yeah, Valkia. The problem with turning into Valkia is you don't get her spear, which is like her best ability. You don't get Slavnir, which is her item. Because yeah, when you transform with the Changeling, you don't get access to their items. And Valkia, the items are what it's all about. What about Steercar? Let me think about Steercar. So what do we get when we transform into him? Let me actually just go into a custom game and check. Do we get his aura? His depraved aura? Because that could be really, really strong in some matchups. It could be very strong. All right, so if we go here, not Slanesh, we're going to go to Tzeentch. We're going to change the ways once again. Where is this? Perfect. Changeling. And let's find Steercar here. Yeah, Tzeentch is kind of an OG choice. People have been turning into Tzeentch for a long time. They have indeed. Let's do land battle. Get you. And we're going to just test this real quick. Nagash on Tzeentch will be hype. The Changeling turning into Nagash. Oh my god. I feel like that's going to happen too. Yeah, I mean, look, that could be strong. Granted, he's going to be an expensive caster, so probably wouldn't be the most ideal choice, you know. Hey, Isatari, thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate you. All right, so if we change him into a Steercar, let's see what this no Deceiving Shadows here, the Formless Horror. All right, so what do we get? We get the Demonic Whispers, and we get the Glorious Slaughter. Okay, so is Aura of Depravity a freaking item? I can't remember. Yeah, so we get the Demonic Whispers, which is cute and all, but it's not that savage. Yeah, so we don't get his aura, I guess. Let me go check him. I could have sworn the Aura of Depravity was a freaking ability, not an item. What was that, Ricochet? Lydon joined a little late. He's fighting Hobo. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for the update, though, man. I appreciate that. For some reason, I thought that was a little something here. Let's see. Steercar. Oh, it's an item. Oh, it's the Sign of Depravity. Oh, so it's an actual item. It's like an emblem he has. Okay, so that would explain why the Changeling doesn't benefit from that. Okay. But I was going to say, Steercar can be backbreaking in a couple matchups, so that could be really, really good. What about like Norskin stuff? I mean, turning into Wulfric, you would get his Lore of Boats, actually, but he would be on foot, which is pretty bad. So probably not worth it to turn into Wulfric, to be fair. Yeah, and if you turn into Malice Darkblade, we've tried this before, you don't get access to his demonic form, because you can't transform twice. The aura is technically his banner. Yeah, Beorg is anti-infantry, though, but he is a regenerating dude, a regenerating homie you can put in some work. If Beorg still was anti-large like he was in some of the earlier tests, it could be kind of nice. Garagrim, Gotrek. Gotrek, maybe in a couple matchups, could be a decent choice. Just a kind of resilient anti-large lord. Too bad Dakala sucks. If Dakala was good, that'd be a really fun transformation target. It'd be very, very fun. Yeah, you know, Aerial is not bad if you want to get Tempest, actually. And then you kind of get a bit of a... Yeah, because you get... What do you get? Tempest, Word of Pain, Soul Stealer, all these things, yeah. You have to pay the premium, but... I think for the Tempest, that could, like, in an Air Force matchup, that could be really nice. Because I don't think Tzeentch can get Tempest outside of transforming into other factions. Bob, how do you add a player late? Hang on a sec. Let me look. Alright, so let me refresh the brackets. Bob, did he sign up for the tournament and forget to check in? Does he have a registration or no? Because that determines who's trying to add late. Lydon? Did he check in at least? Okay, yeah, he has a registration. So you're trying to add Lydon against Blake? Is that what's going on? Do you want me to do it? Because I can do that for you real quick if you want. Just let me know. Lord Croak is, yeah, not very good, unfortunately. His abilities are all right. It's not like they're terrible, but he becomes like worse at the higher skill you're playing at. When you start playing stronger opponents who are just really aware of what's going on the map, he becomes worse. Yeah, and Kari's not worth it because you're paying for the whole Lore of Magic and the Greater Demon. And the Dragon Twins aren't worth it, or the triplets, because they can't, they can't turn into their dragon form, so it's usually not very good. Sisters of Twilight are kind of an interesting tech because they cannot be brought on foot, so you get them on the Eagle, and what abilities do you get? So Sisters of Twilight, you get Conjoined Destiny, and yeah, I mean, honestly, that's a pretty viable choice, Sisters of Twilight. The Cathay Dragons. They can't transform, yeah. Okay, so Bob, I see your messages. All right, got it. And let me take care of that real quick. Yeah, so as long as he has a registration, then you should be able to add him. Otherwise, if they don't have a registration in the tournament, then it's more complicated. You have to like do a ton of shit. But since Glidden did sign up, but it was just late, and he has a back-end registration, because the website, it needs a registration with which to send the stats through the system to that, like through that player's account. Mask is a good choice in some matchups, I think, but it's very predictable too. People expect it. But the mask doesn't get access to healing, so that's tricky. All right. Okay, so I'm adding him to the tournament, and just give it a second, Bob, and we should be all good in like 30 seconds, and they can report their score, and we can move on forward. The double scribes. You can go double scribes. Now, I mean, you can get infinite Winds of Magic with Tzeentch, but you need to get your shrine online, which is very hard to do. There's a couple of cheeky ways of doing it. Oh, wait, hold on. Could we bring Kugath and then use his Nurgling summon to summon Nurglings, which we then kill with the Shrine of Tzeentch for infinite Winds of Magic? That's some really forbidden tech right there, guys. I'm going to have to experiment in between games. Yeah, Skarsnik isn't a terrible choice. He does have... I think he just wouldn't have his stick, but he would have his rampages. All right. Yeah, Tarox you wouldn't want to transform into, probably. Yeah, of course, Bob. I got you, homie. What's up, Mr. Mike? How you doing, man? Hope Warcraft 3's been good. Manster, thank you for subscribing, brother. All right, we're in round dose of the tournament. We won round 1. If you guys want to rewind back, it was a pretty good game. Be'lakor used to be the meta terror. He used to be many moons ago. All right, cool. So we're going into round 2 right now. Sale doesn't really bring anything to the table except a hybrid Lord of Magic. Mel Gibson is okay because, you know, his item... No, but you missed the Cloak of Isho, which is like the best thing about him. Oxyotl is a pretty cheap little gremlin. Yeah, and you don't really care about his item. Maybe an Oxyotl transformation. How cheap is that? So Oxyotl, you pay $15.50 for your Oxyotl. That is a price tag and a half, guys. Yeah, we'll try the Nurgle thing. The next round is about to start, but we'll try